Hey everybody, today we are in Albert Lea, Minnesota. We are going to be visiting the Central Turf Sod Farm. And what we're going to be looking at is the making of a two-stage ditch system. So we're going to be looking at the basics of the project, a little bit of background about the area. We're going to look at what's currently there. There currently is a county ditch in the field. And then we're going to be looking at the pump system they have with the ditch. And then we're going to be looking at the current progress of the project itself. And to help me, I have interviewed three amazing people, which will be introducing themselves as they come up. To start off, we're going to look at the current county ditch that's already on the property. And then we're going to go into looking at the pump system that we have going on here and a little bit about why we're going to be needing this two-stage ditch system.
I'm Winston Beiser. I'm the Freeborn County Drainage Inspector. This is a very unusual ditch system in the fact that it's got a bunch of big tile drainage coming in on the very top end of the ditch. Then right in the middle of the ditch system we have this open ditch, and it's about 13,000 feet in total length. And then at the outlet of this ditch goes into another tile system, which goes 2 miles before it drops into Pickerel Lake. This is low-lying ground. It's kind of the bottom of a bowl. There's hills all the way around it. The surface water will come down onto this land, and if you effectively want to grow anything down here, you have to remove the water. Because it's the bottom of the bowl, you need to rely on pumps to get the water off the crop before it gets destroyed by standing water. But almost all of their land out here will be drained by pump systems, where the tile lines collect it, they bring it into a pumping tower, and they've got multiple pumps down in each one of those. Some are electric driven, some would be PTO driven off a tractor. But they can remove a lot of water quickly off this land so they don't lose their crop.
Now that we know it's already on the property, we're going to start going through what we want to do with this project. We're going to be talking about a little bit of history behind the project, and then we're going to be diving into what this is all about.
Alright, my name is Courtney Phillips and I work at the Shell Rock River Watershed District. I am a technician there. Nutrients is one of the reasons why Pickerel Lake is on the impaired waters list right now. Something that we don't test for E. coli or bacterial. We mostly test for phosphorus, nitrate, total phosphorus, chlorophyll, total suspended solids, that kind of stuff. And so we were noticing that our nitrates were very high off this ditch line, and then also our phosphorus values. And what we wanted to do ultimately was delist Pickerel Lake from the impaired waters list. And so after we did the reclamation project, we were so close, but we weren't close enough. So we captured that large bang for your buck project in the lake reclamation, but we realized we needed to go upstream and button up a few problem areas upstream, so that we could essentially clean the water to get Pickerel Lake delisted. And one of the things we wrote was a targeted watershed grant was supplied by the Board of Water and Soil Resources, which the acronym is BOWSR. And so we came up with a series of projects upstream of Pickerel Lake to improve water quality, so hopefully we can delist Pickerel Lake. So we have this two-stage ditch project that we're on currently. We have a couple of wetland restorations, waterways, and then rock inlets. So this is just one step of a multi-project grant effort to clean Pickerel Lake. So the primary goal of this is to create a shelving system that has vegetation on it, and then to outlet the water that would normally just be going into one ditch, outlet it onto those banks, so then that vegetation can uptake that nutrients so it's not in the waterway, and it provides a secondary benefit of water storage. So we are in a low area that doesn't have a lot of storage, so in high water flows you have that storage, and then in low water flows you have that nutrient reduction. So we received $810,000, a little bit more, give or take, but that was what we received from the grant source. So as far as the exact dollar amounts of this project, I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't want to quote a wrong number, but I want to say it was roughly around 100. I know it was over $100,000. But
Well, it's been about 2 to 3 years in the making from initial, when Earl initially approached me. But I think the whole project is probably going to take 4 to 5 years, and that's typical. Because when you initially get approached on a question, it takes a while to figure out what we could possibly do and then apply for the grant, get the grant. If you're successful, and we were, and we partnered with the Watershed District on the grant. So we're just part of a much bigger grant that'll be addressing Picker Lake.
Now we're going to get an intern's perspective on what's already been happening with this two-stage ditch.
I'm Ravi, and I'm an intern this summer in Dr. Magner's lab, and I got assigned to this project. I think the most important thing is just mapping out the current ditch as is, so that way we can see which way the water is flowing, when the water flows, and that sort of thing. And then also making sure that we know we can keep the things that are working for us when we build a two-stage ditch and get rid of the things that aren't working for us. So I've come down to this site, this is my third time now. The first time we just came around to do some drone flights that recorded the aerial footage of the whole surrounding area. And the second time we came down with, not sure what the technical term is, but it was like a GPS elevation type thing where we had set up a laser that would be spinning, and then we would have a receiver on a stick, and then we would go through the ditch, just measuring the depth of the ditch compared to where we set up the laser, and we did that several points down the whole thing. I think we collected almost 50 points around the whole bend. Yeah, so basically this is a GPS tracker that uses satellites, and we figure out our location, and then we're holding it right now at the water level. And what we're going to do is just record it, and then we'll be able to figure out the water level for future reference.